Well, good afternoon, everybody. The Appendix 1 that Hennessy just put into the court docket. We're going to go over parts 4, mentions Robert Lindsay. If want more, Odin Stuff, Gabe Ellis, Eric Williams, Dustin Prater, Tyler French. And give me a second, I got to get that off. And number 5. Is that the Kokomo crew or people connected to Odin suspects? Prater will be connected to Westfall. On a appendix, what that is actually, if the deferred appendix is used, the parties may cite in their briefs pages of the record. When the appendix is prepared, the record pages cited on the briefs must be indicated by inserting record page numbers in brackets at places in the appendix where those pages of record could appear. This is what we're not seeing on this appendix. Why this appendix is why somebody are like, okay, this is confusing. Like, what are we reading here? What are we seeing? One thing I'm going to bring up is what you're seeing is a very abbreviated. This is something they wanted to get on record. Some of these names, other suspects, and the context, what goes behind the scenes. Each name, each bullet point he put on, he was supposed to bring back. And when you drop something like that, you have to give back a certain reference point. This was talked about during this part of the court case, or this context was brought up with this evidence, and this is why we need to look here and such. That's not shown during this appendix, and that's why it makes it so hard to kind of, okay, what are we looking at? There's more context that goes into deeper, and it goes into further context. Those are just reference points to go back and go into. Number 4 and 5, the Kokomo crew and the Sons of Odin, that drug ring. Look at Westerman, look at Basham. They end up kidnapping a guy for what? A drug deal gone bad. They could have easily killed him. Just like Nicole and a few others in and around this drug ring that have been missing and killed. This ring, the ones in and around it, the Sons of Odin issue, the FBI seen that. I've gotten my 1023 informant files where what? The Sons of Odin issue they were looking at months before Delphi happened. Gabe Ellis, Paige Turley, Tyler, Kyle Stacy. A lot of you already sit in FBI files. You think it's a laughing matter watching these videos, laughing, having a good old time, thinking that life can go on as normal. Well, it's not a laughing matter when your name is now sitting on a murder case of 2 children. It's not a laughing matter when your name, your associations, your drug ring, your dealing, your drugs are now being shown for what it is. Around multiple children's lives being taken and this drug ring being involved. For once, I'm actually kind of looking past this and kind of knowing the context of what involves these names, this Kokomo crew. And if you look back the videos, the lives I've done, you're going to start noticing where, like, Keegan Klein, And Kagan, I'm gonna say that the Kagan, where the Kagan would come in play on how the name is spelled. Kagan, Kalis. If you've seen how Kagan's name is spelled, Kagan was using the Kagan off of Kalis, Megan Ordell's boyfriend at the time, which Megan Allen is now Megan Eberling, Josh Eberling's wife. Not so funny now when even her name, anybody, that Kokomo crew, that drug ring, Gabe, if Gabe's name is brought up, Tyler's name's brought up in these documents, you think Megan, Kalis, Kyle, you think these names and evidence is not shown where parading around with a bloody Bowie knife, a bloody machete, Kalis, Megan, and their buddies parading around with weapons that could have easily been used in more than one case? It's sick. But hands down, I'm seeing the context of what I know what appendix is. It gives out bullet points. What they forgot to do was the context. We're in this legal document. Can this bulletproof, like number 4 and number 5, can be found in the document itself? Like it could be investigations. It could have been documents that were filed. He didn't give the context, so we're in reference on the appendix that these certain conversations or things are on record go back to. That's why that appendix was so confusing. I felt so bad for T trying to read that last night. Everybody's like, what the hell did we just sit through and what the hell did we just listen to? It goes back to further subject matter that has greater context. And within that context, you got evidence, you got theories that support said bullet point, like number 4 and number 5. And we're gonna go talking into like, okay, when it comes to Klein's child sexual predating, CSAM, you got one of his friends that sits as well at the time with Brad Holder. You got Dymo Swoke. It's an individual that goes back into the Kokomo drug ring and a bunch of other names that go back around other cases. That's it. It's right there with Brad Holder. So you got an individual that goes back into multiple intersecting and intertwining individuals that go back in and around this drug ring, including multiple dealers. Mr. Swoke goes back to. That's friends right there with Brad Holder. There's another name that you'll find on Keegan Klein's friends list. It's a Armand A.B. Bridgeforth. Again, if you know what to see, where to look, and I'm going to be going over this. I did it in a few of the other videos, but I'm going to do a video where I'm going to break down certain individuals you'll find on like Keegan's case. You'll find on Brad Holder's friends list. They go back to this drug ring. I will go over like Eric Basham, Westerman, like all their, like the Messer incident, like I was talking about the last life. I'm going to go back each of their friends lists that go back in and around this drug ring. And they've kidnapped, they've murdered, and at times for $20, as little as $20 for their role in a murder. They've killed for less. They've killed for the assumption that somebody was going to roll on certain individuals, and they've killed off of that more than once. Jeremy Patterson. They feared he was going to roll on not only Alan Tinker, but Gabriel Ellis. That's why Alan Tinker was trying to get ahead of the curve and get me any information he had on Gabe Ellis back to Karina's case, and was demanding that he was going to be able to talk to a detective, that somebody was going to listen to him for less time. He was going to spill all he knew on Karina's case, but yet the locals made sure that didn't happen. Why? You've got Gabe Ellis' mom, friends with the former mayor, elected officials, and friends with law enforcement, among others. They couldn't afford that what Gabe and his family knew about the dirty, corrupt individuals. If Gabe goes down, the corrupt individuals, along with that drug ring that they're protecting, that they're allowing to continue to take lives, if they go down, that drug ring is going to take the corrupt individuals that's been protecting them down with them. They cannot afford that. And it's the same situation that's going on in Carroll County. If this ring goes down, the corrupt individuals that have been helping, supporting, and protecting this drug ring, including at times like Nicholas, you can't tell me that his own family members' sweetheart deal on dealing methamphetamine, he didn't have a hand in, giving a own family member a sweetheart deal when it comes to his own dealing for that drug ring. And if you look how Blaine barely got out of that without a scratch, it's mind-blowing. Because you dig into Blaine McClelland's dealing and the sweetheart deal he got, and you make it wonder, is it the last name, the associations, the elected officials, the judges that set friends with his family? Is that why he got such a sweetheart deal? Makes one wonder. But like I was saying, it's multiple cases, Florida. A lot of those individuals go back to the Kokomo ring. And it's the same thing, like I said, Javon Blackwell. You look into the ones that did his case. He was actually dealing for the Kokomo ring. The ones that came in, murdered him and his two sons, execution style. If you look up all those individuals that now, some of them only got robbery. And the last time I checked on Brittany, Miss Blackwell, I think it's Blackwell, on his case is she only got robbery, and for years she was able to continuance. It was able to walk free after two kids were executed for money and drugs. An individual that was there took part in it, got a sweetheart deal, and only got robbery, and was allowed to continue this and walk free for years. Live life like it was normal as these two kids are laying in the ground. That does not sit well with me. So knowing this drug ring and individuals in and around this drug ring are highly capable and have taken more than one kid's life before. So when I bring up the drug ring being around, and every single one of those names on Galen's lawsuit, Galen, you should have used your mind on, it would not be hard to find out who's getting a cut of this lawsuit if they come on as a witness. Did they force that on you? Even after this drug ring did what they did to that house? Was that forced upon you? Is what I really want to know. Is because if you look up every single name, including Colton, what do they go back in and around? One was actually while she was sitting as a witness for your lawsuit that you won, or they agreed on a settlement with you, that she was paid $20 for her role in a murder there in Florida. And you don't think for 1 second she does not have, nor those other names, had involvement in your own children's death? When these names go back associated to a drug ring that has killed other children for far less. But if they could take $20 for their role in a murder, how much did it cost to light your house on fire with you and your kids in it? Were they hoping you not make it out of this fire? I still like to know, when did Jennifer Barnes slash Dean leave, and what door did she go out of? Was it that back door, the same door that had an individual witnessing a blue flame going to the back door, that back porch that you had cluttered with everything? All it took was an individual coming over that drug ring to know how flammable clothes, cardboard, I'm pretty sure you had boxes, you had papers, like anybody's spare room, things you didn't have room for, clothes, like if it was winter, so your summer clothes, shoes, sandals, swimsuits, you get the idea, put in a area where it's out of the way, the back porch. You can switch out the winter clothes for the summer clothes and kind of put the winter clothes back on the back porch. It would make sense. If you didn't have access to a basement, we've done the same thing. My ex and her family, you switch out, winter goes down in the basement in boxes, the summer clothes come up, and vice versa. I could see her doing that with the back porch. So making that everything in that back porch highly flammable. All it took was Jennifer, her husband, somebody from that drug ring to know, hey, all we needed is a ignition source. And as she was leaving that back door, if you weren't following her out, all she had to do is sit there and spray something on that lighter fluid, uh, Zippo, like a Zippo lighter fluid, douse all that, and easily, as she was going out the door, leave a trail. And as you go to lay your head down, all it takes is a lighter strike. Laying down, light what they had a trail going out the door, and bam, she gets paid her drugs or money or whatever it may have been. I feel Jennifer had a major role in those four girls' death. That drug ring, there was a reason. We may not know this, but I got a feeling Galen knows the exact reason. Was there money? Is there something that we don't know that happened? We already know that this drug ring chooses single moms that are struggling and are having an issue making ends meet. They target individuals like yourself. You're a single mom, 4 kids, you're struggling to make ends meet. This drug ring sees your weakness and they take advantage of individuals like you. While you're choosing to have individuals like this as witnesses when it comes to 4 little girls' death is beyond me. It's just like when Brandy Bradley, Frankie Bradley, you've got Michael Bradley. Michael was in the 2018 cartel drug raids. There's things not being said in Brandy's case. That's another reason why the individuals also involved inside that drug ring when it comes to like Jamie, Corbin, and then you got the that landlord, then you've got John Christie. Every name that I just listed off, be it a user like Brandy, God rest her soul, but you've got individuals dealing for that ring, and you got individuals like John and Jamie that did the same and then ran around what ring. It gives you an idea why they were allowed 30 days to do what they did before anybody would make a call. It's not the first time that a family member like Marlena, Karina's mother, getting called by suspects to come to the crime scene, and yes, word by word, told me the tour she was giving the night Karina lost her life at the real crime scene, and word for word, how she was given a tour of the crime scene in the bathroom of Gabriel's daughter's apartment that she named by name, and then gave me a detail. Like I could picture that bathroom where the tub is, where the hole in the wall that had a mirror covering it. Blaine Nelson further backed that up when he brought up the same tour he was given at the same apartment, the same bathroom. He himself was given a tour, and yes, there is a hole in the wall that Marlena said her own self. She asked, "What is that? And why are you showing me this?" Marlena asked them, "What is that? And why are you showing me a hole in the wall?" She said that hole in the wall was caused by Karina's head during the attacks on what Gabe Ellis was doing, trafficking her like he was, and during the beatings and such, her head happened to hit the wall. For them not to get in trouble with their landlord of property damage, they put a mirror over this hole, and it's the same mirror that was moving to show Marlena was the same mirror. I got a feeling was near the same time frame as Blaine's same tour of that same bathroom. But a lot of these names that go back in around the Skuckler ring, I've been saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. I've had about 15, 16, 17 maybe slide shots of each case, each name, and around this drug ring, back to associated with the victim, be it their family, then back to where I'm saying I'm going to break down the 30 cases, Carroll and Howard County alone, back to this drug ring, and to show you guys, look, this unsolved issue, the drugs, the money, and all it takes is the assumption somebody is going to roll or somebody has rolled for less time for this ring to act and want to kill. They've done it multiple times, and they will continue to be allowed to do this until we stand up and we say enough is enough and we demand actions. But I'm going to give you guys the full context, and I'm not going to let some individual, not even from outside the United States, and I want to know so many people back somebody like that. support. You're going to donate, donate, donate. When they're reverbing information, I want each and every single one of them that are going to be taking my information to know, is it your life really on the line by these same individuals that want you dead? And for me, it's not to get subs, views, donations, but it's the whole fact of you're sitting there, not even from the United States, you're reverbing information, you're making it all about yourself. When the only thing I've been from the very get go, it started with helping Karina, an act of selfless service. It's cost me everything but my life, the roof over my head, everything I had to my name, gone. I've got a few shirts, a few pair of pants. Clothes wise, I've got next to nothing still. I've lost everything but my life, and they even here lately, Tyler's threat to see me here in person here shortly and confront me, and I won't be able to hide behind a screen like you're seeing right here. Are you getting threats from that ring and ones like the BG directly? No, it's not your life on the line. I'm giving a voice to the other voices that have lost their ability to speak up using their own voice. And I'm using my voice till the day I die, till they take me out of this world to do what I need to do. I'm using my voice to get the voiceless victims behind me and myself justice in full. It's not your life, it's my life on the line. If I keep talking, I'll be the next one that goes, vanishes, and gets killed. I've had that direct threat from day one. And each and every single one of you, Marv, Frank, Joe, I don't give a who I have to keep naming. You've reverbed this information to make your own pages and make it all about you. Look at me. Look what I found. But yet, little do you know the real stories of hearing families saying, thank you for everything. It's the thank yous. The 10 cases I've worked on directly with these families, I've gotten 4 adults, 4 children home. There's only been 2 cases since Karina's that did not go properly. Brandy, then there was a veteran that did a 22 a day before they could find him here recently. So out of 10 cases, I've gotten 8 people home. I did not put this on YouTube. Look at me. Look what a great job I've done. Look at what I was able to do. I didn't make it all about me. I made it about these victims and these families. It could have made for great content. It could have got the subs. It could have got the views. Oh, look what I'm doing. Show the world what I'm working on and put these victims at risk? Nah. I chose to work directly with these families on it, be it calls, showing them where to look, why to look, how to look, why to look there. And when I have individuals opening their minds and their eyes and seeing, holy crap, you weren't joking. This needs to be stopped. I brought their family home alive. One of the worst ones I can recall was a child being bound and drugged up in a closet with a mattress in front of the closet door to muffle the screams of this child. And to tell this family, do not leave the boyfriend's family's house. And this is why. Look back to this drug ring. Look, the individuals inside that house, their ties to back to that drug ring. Do not leave that house. And by God, they listened to me. And by God, they got their word out. They demanded for them to go in and look in that house. And by God, that little girl was in that house drugged up pending what? Transportation to go somewhere else. If it wasn't for me telling this little girl's family, stay on that house, don't move. Have somebody in the back alley. So anybody coming going in the back alley, somebody up front, do not get off that house. And by God, what? That little girl was stuck inside the boyfriend's house. And all those ties back to that drug ring. People want to call me nuts and laugh at me, but I got that little girl and 7 others home alive after Karina. So why everybody else is all out for subs, views, and this, that, and the other, the thank you for everything means more than any money, any subs, anything could ever account for. What little I do get help-wise, it goes into things I need to further this account. The one mic I did have doesn't really work right now, so I've been kind of using the iPad or my phone. The headphones I used were the big headphones you usually see me have on. The mic stopped working on it, so I've been having to use just my voice and just whatever device I've got and hope it works. So what little I do make, it goes into furthering this page and what I can and where it really counts. Like I said, instead of all you, especially the ones from outside the United States, are saying, look at this, look what I found, look at this Kokomo crew, look at this, look at this. Why are you using my information to get you money, funds, and be all about you? Hearing a little girl's family saying thank you. If it wasn't for you showing us what you did and down to the extent and why, we would not have her home today. To have a mother break down to you crying to have their daughter home, to see that on somebody, you can't put that into words. That's why I fight. That's why I hunt the evil the way I do. It could be better. I admit that. I'm trying to do better with what little I've got. But it doesn't help when you got individuals from not even inside the United States and others that make it all about them, what they can get and what they can do better on getting funds, donations, everything all about them. Like I said, those thank yous mean more than anything anybody could ever give me. That's what it counts, and that's what it should be about. Those victims, and if you can get a victim home, I've gotten 8 so far home. 4 adults, 4 kids. What about you? Oh, wait. You got more subscribers. You got more donations. You got more money. What good are you doing? Nothing.